In 58 BC, Julius Caesar invaded Gaul and would spend the next 6 years asserting Roman power in the region against often intense resistance from the native Gauls, who were descended from the Celtic tribes who first settled the area sometime around 1500 BC. Among the most valuable regions conquered by Caesar was the territory of Hellas, which is located in the Rhine Valley on the western bank of the Rhine River and is bordered by the Black Forest. This region is known for its rich and fertile soil, and the Romans established it as a center for the cultivation of grapes to be used in their wine industry. The Romans did much to further the art of winemaking, including the introduction of viticulture into areas that would become renowned for their fine wines, among them the Rioja region of Spain and the Bordeaux and Burgundy regions of France. They also invented the trellis system to raise vines off the ground and discovered that steep hillsides make the best vineyards. In AD 65, the Roman writer Columella wrote a detailed guidebook on the subject of winemaking. Because the vineyards of Hellas were so fertile and valuable, the Romans established military outposts to protect the area from the unromanized and sometimes hostile Germanic tribes who lived on the other side of the Rhine River. Permanent military camps were established and became important to the culture and economy of the region. As the years after the invasion by Julius Caesar passed, Gaul became more and more Romanized. Latin was adopted as the common language, although the traditional Gaulish language survived in some parts of Gaul until the late 500s AD. The Roman religion replaced the native Celtic practices, and the imperial cult of emperor worship was practiced. Eventually, during the later imperial period, Christianity would become the predominant religion of the Hellas region. From the beginning of Rome, which was traditionally dated to 753 BC, when the twin brothers Romulus and Remus were said to have laid out the dimensions of the city, and through the period of the kingdom, the republic, and into the first century and a half of the empire, Rome was an offensive power, with its goal being the conquest of new territories. That would change under the rule of the Emperor Hadrian, which lasted from AD 117 until 138. Hadrian reversed centuries of Roman foreign policy, and Rome became a defensive rather than an offensive state. Many historians mark this as the time when Rome began its long decline. This change can be seen in Roman coinage, which was used to disseminate imperial propaganda to the common people. The military figures slowly evolved from showing gods of war like Mars and Minerva and conquered peoples, to showing defensive Roman military scenes. Hadrian and his successors built walls and permanent fortifications along the borders of the empire. But these structures were often overrun or simply bypassed by those who wished to enter Roman territory temporarily to plunder or permanently to settle and live as Romans in the prosperity that the empire still offered. In ancient times, there were no banks in which you could house your wealth. You had to keep it with you and devise ways to protect it. In uncertain times, hiding it was often the preferred method of attempting to protect it. If you lived in the Hellas region in the early 4th century AD, and Germanic tribes from across the Rhine were threatening the area in which you lived, you would bury that money and hope to return for it later when things calmed down. However, if you were killed in the unrest, captured by the enemy and enslaved, or the area where you lived fell under enemy control and you had to resettle to a different region, you would never be able to return to reclaim your life savings. Over the years, many such hoards of Roman coins have been found by farmers tilling the soil, construction workers building roads or structures, and treasure hunters using metal detectors in their quest for buried treasure. One such hoard was discovered near the small village of Epfig in the Hellas region of France. In 2010, workers building a new sewage system unearthed a hoard of nearly 14,000 Roman coins. Epfig is a small village of 2,200 people located southeast of Strasbourg. It is primarily known for an 11th century chapel dedicated to St. Margaret of Antioch. The coins in this hoard consist of those minted during the reigns of Constantine the Great and his 3 sons, Constantine II, Constantius, and Constans. There is a theory that the coins were deposited by Constans himself or one of his generals. Constans ruled the central portion of the Roman Empire until he and his brother Constantine II went to war with each other. This war culminated in the death of Constantine II in battle in AD 340, giving Constans control of the provinces formerly controlled by Constantine II. These provinces were Gaul, Spain, and Britain. Because he was cruel and incompetent, Constans was very unpopular. This led his general Magnentius to rebel against him and declare himself emperor of Gaul, Britain, and Spain, just 10 years after the defeat of Constantine II. At the time of this rebellion, Constans was in Gaul, and this has led some people to speculate that the Epphig hoard was the imperial treasury and was too cumbersome to bring as they attempted to flee to Spain. There are two facts that argue against this theory. First, Constans was in eastern Gaul, near the Pyrenees Mountains, at the time of Magnentius's rebellion. Second, although there are coins in the Epphig hoard that bear the likeness and portrait of Constantine the Great's 3 sons and successors, all of them were issued before the death of Constantine in AD 337. It is also worth noting that the Epphig hoard consists entirely of small denomination bronze coins with little purchasing power. These are not the type of coins that would make up even a small portion of the imperial treasury, or that would be of interest to Constans or his high-level officers. Another similar theory suggests that the coins were deposited after a campaign in the area by Constans. It is true that Germanic tribes living on the far side of the Rhine took advantage of the chaos that erupted after the defeat of Constantine II in 340, and used the opportunity to invade the Elas region. Constans personally led an operation to repulse the invaders in the campaigns of 341 through 342. This theory suggests that the emperor had the coins hidden before leaving to visit Britain because they were too cumbersome to carry across the English Channel. However, as mentioned a moment ago, it is unlikely that the imperial party would have been carrying such low-value coins in the first place, or that cash, of all things, would be selected to be left behind. It is possible that these coins could have been hidden by locals, perhaps wine merchants at the time of the invasions after the death of Constantine II, but we can never know for certain who buried these coins or why. The coins in this hoard depict Constantine the Great, his 3 sons, Constantine II, Constans, and Constantius II. There are also coins showing Constantine's rival Licinius I and his son Licinius II, Constantine's mother Helena, his stepmother Theodora, his deceased son Crispus, and his wife Fausta. In addition, there are a large number of commemorative coins honoring the founding of the cities of Rome and Constantinople. A large portion of the coins in this hoard bear reverse type showing Roman soldiers holding standards. This is the single most common reverse type used on Roman coinage. It bears the reverse inscription Gloria Exercitus, which means the glory of the army. It is designed to emphasize the power of Roman military might and to reassure uneasy citizens, who had lived through several decades of invasion and civil war, that all was well and that they could trust in the power of the Roman military to protect them. Another reverse type represented in the Epphig hoard is the Campgate reverse. During the period after Rome assumed a defensive military posture, a system of walls and permanent camps was established along the frontier. These permanent camps were often made of stone and housed troops stationed on the frontier to guard against invasion from unfriendly forces. The camp gate would serve as the only entrance point to the camp and would also be used as an observation tower. On Roman coins, the camp gates are depicted with 2, 3, or sometimes 4 protrusions on top. There are various interpretations as to what these might be, but turrets and beacons have been suggested. It is possible that a system of beacons were used to send signals to the next camp along the frontier, and using this method, basic communication could have traveled vast distances very quickly. These Roman camp gates were the precursors of medieval castles. Like the previous reverse type, this design was made to reassure the average Roman citizen that his need for safety would be met. About 50 miles north of Epphig, in Germany's oldest city, Trier, lies the Porta Nigra, or Black Gate. This is a well-preserved Roman camp gate that was built during the reign of Marcus Aurelius in the 170s AD. It is interesting to think that this may be the very camp gate depicted on Roman coins from the Epphig hoard, many of which were minted in Trier. When you hold a coin from the Epphig hoard, you are holding something that was very important to its owner, living on the Roman frontier 17 centuries ago, something that meant so much that he went to the trouble of hiding it. When you look at the coins, you are also aware that something tragic must have happened to prevent him from returning for it. Was he killed by invading Germans from across the Rhine, perhaps falling in battle to protect his homeland? Was he captured and enslaved? We do know that finds like this can tell us a lot about the population and money supply of the time in which they were deposited. Archaeologists, historians, and even collectors use them to decode the mysteries of the past. The coins shown in this video have all been certified by NGC as being part of the Epphig hoard. They were all minted in Trier and show either Constantine the Great or one of his sons. Like many hoard coins from the Roman era, many examples from the Epphig hoard are in a remarkable state of preservation. These coins provide us with a snapshot of a moment in Roman history. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. That way you'll be the first to know when new videos come out. Thank you for watching.